Hey guys, and welcome back to Fringe Friday. I am Carmen, and today we are watching Season 2, Episode 19 of Fringe. We are super close to the end of Season 2 and the beginning of Season 3. These past few episodes have been a lot, and if you're watching this on YouTube, there shouldn't have been a break, but if you're watching this on Patreon, you know I took a little extended break. Just for vacation and stuff. So it's actually been quite a while since I've watched the last episode of Fringe, and I am excited and also a little nervous to get back into it. Yeah, we left off with Walter and the White Tulip and all of that sort of happening, and Peter inching ever closer to finding out the truth of who he is, which is both exciting and terrifying at the same time, because of reasons I've mentioned 800 times before. But yeah, I am just super ready to get into this episode, so I'm not going to ramble at you guys too much. Let's do it.
I thought you said this place is abandoned.
Oh, are they about to die?
We should just go.
No, just hang tight. It'll be fine.
Why? Okay. Logic in horror movies, this is not a horror movie, but this is like horror movie logic. Like, just go. You should have listened to her. You're probably gonna die. A horrific death now. They used this location in Supernatural. They used this location multiple times. Oh God. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? This is disgusting. I don't know what it is, but it's disgusting. This is when you walk away. This is your reaction? I can take a picture. You're gonna poke it? This is the weirdest freaking reaction I've ever seen. Oh, it's one of those people. Is this what they look like before they transform? I don't think we've seen like their visage like this before. Girl, you should not have let him in there.
This totally sucks. What took you so long? You scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. So there's two of them.
There's something we have to talk about.
They're gonna get interrupted by the case. Interrupted by the case.
Every living thing dies.
Okay.
As a scientist, that's one of the hardest things to accept. Inevitably, we can't defeat death, no matter how much we may want to.
Interrupted by the case.
She's on her way to pick us up.
I'll get my fill kit.
Walter.
Oh, it's all right, Peter. You can wait.
Can it though? I just worry he's gonna find out from somebody else.
It's not as good as the stuff I grow, but it's not bad either.
Well, at least she died in a happy place.
Look at Broyle's face.
So you think that maybe she was with somebody?
Maybe someone who was lucky enough to get away.
Nope. He was definitely not lucky enough to get away. In fact, he brought the monsters to her.
All clear. The rest of the place is deserted.
Except for this.
Reminds me of a beanbag chair I once owned.
Okay. Is that one of them that just didn't finish coming through?
So what would the shapeshifters want with these kids?
They were in the wrong place at the right time. What's in it? Okay, their blood, right?
Walter, if that's Mercury, do you think that this is a shapeshifter?
I do believe it is. Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, that's a word for it, not necessarily the one that I would use. Disturbing is, more apt, but
Just before 9 p.m., several dozen homes, all within a half-mile radius of the warehouse, reported an odd kind of interference with their broadcast signal.
Okay.
Is it possible that the shapeshifter embryo could have caused this kind of interference?
Yes.
How?
We may be getting a glimpse into the other side.
Ah. What's it
Slow
gonna
it
say?
down.
Yeah, real slow.
Gee, what is that?
Chopper?
The language.
Oh.
In this case, a radio wave, the kind given off by a solar flare.
But yours couldn't have come from the sun.
Well, where else could it have come from?
I don't know. I mean, they're not in sync.
Suppose it came from a parallel universe.
That would be, yeah, because in a parallel universe, time would be slightly out of sync.
And the waves would be too.
Yeah. Yeah. What did that mean?
These are the two universes.
Yeah, we know. They're next to each other.
Slightly out of sync,
Uh-huh.
but on rare occasion,
They sync up.
they perfectly line up.
So today at 3:31, they'll line up.
When?
Based on this, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay, that's bad. I feel like that's real bad. They're gonna open the door then, right?
Maybe we should abort.
And I suppose you'll be the one to give the news to the secretary.
They need those 3 people to all do the same thing at the same time, or for some reason.
Where's Walter?
He's out counting cars. He says that human memory is best triggered.
Accomplishing mundane tasks, I know.
Yeah, Walter's convinced that Newton wants to build a door to the other side. If Walter can remember what he told Newton.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, memory's triggered by mundane tasks. His memory's gonna be triggered. This is gonna be so bad. This is not how I wanted it to go. You guys, this is bad. This is so bad.
Star Trek convention at the Worcester Centrum, that's not good. I told Walter I'd take him. Maybe we'll just pretend like we didn't see that.
No. Go to the Star Trek convention. Always go to the Star Trek convention.
I think I finally figured out why it is that Walter's been acting so strange lately. He's been carrying this picture around with him, a family photo from when I was a kid. I think he wants to talk to me about how my mother died.
That's not
About a month after I got to Europe, I got
Oh.
a call from St. Clair's.
Okay.
He told me that she died in a car crash. It wasn't a car crash. My mother committed suicide.
Okay.
That was the only time I spoke to him.
When he was at St. Clair's,
I think in his way he was trying to protect me.
he was.
And for whatever reason, he wants to talk about it now.
That's not what he wants to talk about. But it is about protecting you.
You know that Walter loves you very much.
Yeah.
I believe I know how to figure out what they're up to.
You remember what you told Newton?
No, but as they say in Finland,
There's more than one way to roast a reindeer.
Figure out what to do about Verona?
I have some thoughts.
What? What are they doing? They gonna bring somebody else through?
Mr. McAllister?
Yes.
Approval for an overdraft withdrawal?
Oh, thank you. I'll be there in just a minute.
Girl, you almost got yourself killed.
You can handle the rest. Just make sure the device remains undisturbed.
Walter, you really think that this is gonna work?
What's he trying to do? He's trying to make it be born?
If we intend to question this creature, then it will need an identity to shapeshift into.
Because that's not ridiculous at all.
I mean, it is ridiculous, yes, Peter, but it's also fucking true.
Try 110.
110.
Imagine this is your life. Just horrifying thought, sorry.
Aspirin, quickly, some candles.
How does she just have candles? Oh my god, oh my god. No. Don't like it. Don't love this. No. No, thank you. Really, no, thank you. That is so disgusting. Like, I honestly kind of want to gag.
Something's wrong. When I cut into it, I must have damaged it.
Help me, Verona. Daniel Verona.
We're losing it.
Okay, tomorrow afternoon, what is happening at 3:31?
It's too late.
I'm sorry.
That was, oh my goodness. That was a lot. That was a lot. Daniel Verona.
Oh my god!
What is his plan? Does he need to go to the hospital for some reason?
Why Daniel Verona?
Medical examiner works out of Boston General.
Boston General. That's why they found a way to get in there anyway. His plan is going perfectly according to plan.
I hadn't caused so much damage. It could have told us everything.
But you couldn't possibly have known that.
Still, stupid an excuse.
It's gonna be okay. Yeah. We're gonna figure it out just like we always do.
Yeah, okay.
I want you to get some rest, Dad. I'm gonna hit the sack. I'll be upstairs if you need me.
Dad.
Huh?
He called him Dad.
Just call me Dad.
Yeah.
I guess I did.
Now I don't want him to know.
I think I know what he's planning to do.
What?
Geometry and harmonic vibrations. That's how we did it, Melly and I. If we set up the harmonic rods in exactly the same position in each universe, then whatever is in the center of each triangle
Can just switch spots.
Of course, that would likely require that the universes be in sync.
3:31.
Okay, so we have roughly 10 hours to figure out where
What's
the
he
center
gonna
of
bring?
Newton's triangle is.
But it could be anywhere.
No, but look at, okay. You know Verona, right? I mean, you don't really know anything else.
Newton would have to place the harmonic rods at 3 specific locations across the city.
Mm-hmm.
Side there. Hyde Park. Right on the Charles River. So we've got to be targeting Hyde Park.
Is there a bridge on the Charles?
Yeah, condemned railway bridge. Why?
The water would absorb any excess energy caused by Newton's procedure, so he must be making the exchange on the bridge.
She's right, Peter.
Yeah. But how does she know that, Walter? I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. I mean, Walter did it near Raiden Lake, right? Raiden Lake, whatever it's called. Because of that. I'd forgotten.
To send out vibrations that would cancel out Newton's device.
Of course, we have to get the hammer as close to the center of the bridge as possible. The vibrational waves that Newton will need to generate, the intensity. Devastating.
What do you mean devastating?
I suspect it would tear a man apart.
Okay. Maybe we should just let him bring whatever it is over, then stop it afterwards. They're bad.
We need to get on that bridge.
I'm with the FBI.
You're the boss. Let me just check with the sergeant.
They're bad. They've already been infiltrated.
No. A cop wouldn't call the sergeant on a cell phone.
Ah. I was wondering how she knew too. I was like, damn, she just went for it. Walter. Walter, you do not get out of that car. Walter. Stop it. No, what's he gonna do? There's only so many bullets in a gun. I'm just saying. Walter. Okay. Put the laptop there and walk away. Walter, turn the laptop on. Throw it. Throw it. Walter, I'm not about this. Be safe.
It's 3:32. Walter's not gonna make it in time.
I'm going up there. Cover me.
Go, 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 go. Again, unless this guy just has a bunch of magazines, like... Okay, good. Olivia, got him.
Peter and Walter on the
Broyles is here. Okay. Good, good. Broyles, you could have come like a minute earlier.
Turning on the program. There's something wrong with your frequency recognition program, but don't worry, I can fix it. I need you all to get off this bridge now. Yes, off the bridge. No, Walter, there's nothing else you can do.
No, Peter.
Come on, Walter.
No, Olivia.
That guy, the FBI guy, he's bad. No. I'm stressed. Oh my god, what if he brings through Walter? No, that guy's clearly not okay. Peter, he can't lose him again. Olivia. What happened? Is he still in our universe?
Welcome back.
How long was I out?
About a day and a half.
I'm confused. I'm wary.
The doctor said that you'd be fine, but Walter was worried.
I'm fine. Is he here?
Yeah. He wouldn't leave. He'll want to know that you're up.
I'd like to speak to him alone, if that's okay.
Does he remember? Is he... He can't be from the other side because that Peter died. I'm so confused. What's happening?
Peter. Oh, they told me you'd be all right, but I was so worried, son.
No. No, something's bad.
There was another man on that bridge. When Newton's device started to work, I saw him there.
Was it Walter?
He had to have been from the other side. You said the effects of Newton's vibrations would be devastating. Destroyed that FBI agent. They just disintegrated him like he wasn't even there.
But they didn't destroy you?
They didn't kill the man from the other side.
Or him?
And they didn't kill me.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. This, nope, nope, nope. This is not what I wanted. No, 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 no.
I'm not from here, am I?
No. This is not how you were supposed to find out.
You didn't just open up a hole to the other side. You went through.
Yeah, he did.
And you brought me back. That's why I can't remember my childhood.
You were dying, Peter.
It's why my mother committed suicide, isn't it? She knew.
No, I don't like this. No.
And when I left, the guilt was too much for her to live with. The lie.
But she kind of wanted it.
Peter, you need to understand something.
I understand, Walter.
No, you don't.
I understand everything now.
No, you don't.
Son,
I am not your son.
You just called him Dad.
I'd like to be alone now.
You just called him Dad. Like, I think it's valid that you're upset. It's very valid. But he still raised you. You know, he still loved you. He still saved you. Walter?
Don't try to talk just yet, Mr. Secretary.
Who is it? Is it Leonard Nimoy? Is it other Walter?
I have to go to the hospital now. Are you going to drive me or shall I call a cab?
Oh no, what if he's not there? He's not there.
Walter.
He's not there. He left.
Peter checked himself out of the hospital 3 hours ago.
I fucking knew it.
He's gone.
I fucking knew that was gonna be the end. You know, this is exactly what I was worried would happen if Walter didn't tell him. Like, he really needed to tell him. Alright, you guys, so I've taken just a few minutes to compose myself after the way that episode ended. Obviously, it's what I expected to happen when Peter found out the truth. And this is exactly what I was afraid of, you know? The entire time that I wanted Walter to tell Peter is because I felt like it was inevitable, you know, which it was, that Peter was gonna find out. And the best possible way for him to find out would have been from Walter in an environment where Walter could explain himself like he did with Olivia, where he could, you know, sort of present his case and explain everything in a way that would hopefully at least allow Peter to have some idea of the events that led to what happened. Obviously, he didn't get that chance. Peter put it together before he could get that chance, and he reacted pretty much how you expect Peter to react, right? I mean, it's not like there's a handbook for you find out that your dad, who you were estranged from for a long time and then finally built a relationship with again, actually brought you from a parallel universe into this universe, and here's how to deal with the fallout of that. You know, I don't think that there is a right or wrong way for Peter to react to that, given, you know, just what a huge mindfuck that would be, you know? Like, I don't think that Peter's wrong for reacting the way he did. I cannot say how I would react to that situation, you know? It's like, I do want him to give Walter a chance to explain, but at the same time, it's totally understandable that he would not, at least at this point, be ready to try to give him a chance to explain, because it's like, you had all of these years to tell me the truth of what happened and you chose not to. So now you choosing, you know, until I found out, because he doesn't know that Walter's been struggling with this for so long, you know, and he doesn't know his mother's role in it as well, you know. Sorry, I know I say, you know, too much. But in this episode, we see him talking about his mother and losing her. And then at the end, when he's talking to Walter, he brought it up. And I just think it's interesting because in his mind, Walter's the villain, right? He did this and his mother dealt with it, which is what I thought too, you know? I thought that for a long time until we understood it from Walter's perspective and we heard what Walter said and we realized that it was actually his mother who couldn't let go. But of course, Peter doesn't know that, and he can't know that because he hasn't actually had the conversation with Walter to find that out. But knowing now that she did indeed, you know, do what she did, I think it makes more sense knowing that she was consumed. I think Peter was correct about why she did it, I believe, but I don't think that he knows. I mean, obviously he doesn't know that it's because her guilt is that she couldn't let go and she caused another mother, who is herself in another world, to go through that pain that she went through because of her inability to let go, which again, I think is totally understandable. There's no book for finding out that your child who you lost exists in another world and now he's in front of you. Like, I can't say that I would do anything different than what she did, you know? But I do think it's interesting that in Peter's framing of it, his mind, I don't know why I did it like that, but in his framing of it in his mind, he's framing it as absolving his mother and blaming his father. But it makes sense, again, given the situation, because he's very protective. He has shown himself to be very protective of her memory. And I think knowing now how she died makes sense. And knowing that she was the parent that stayed, and who, of course, Walter didn't choose to leave. But I think that Walter was dealing with the guilt of what he did in his own way as well before he went to St. Clair's. And then in St. Clair's, obviously, he didn't really have any contact with Peter. And so Peter is remembering his mother much differently than his father. There's also the element of we sort of, as humans, tend to absolve people of guilt and wrongdoing once they pass away, right? So anything that his mother might have done, and I think she was probably an amazing person based off the flashback that we got, you know, a very loving mom. But any wrongs that she might have done to him, any, you know, childhood trauma that he might have been inflicted upon him, you know, it sounds so much worse than it is. But I just mean, like, you know, the normal wrongs that your parents do, the baggage they put on you, anything like that. When someone passes away, we tend to not remember any of that and just remember the good, which in a way is good. But also, when faced with the very real, human, flawed, ever-present father that he has, it's easier to see why, you know, he's seeing his mom differently. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope that I explained what I'm trying to say right. But I think it's interesting. And obviously, I hope that at some point Walter will get to explain to Peter the truth, and he will get to fully let him know the events that unfolded and what happened and why it happened. But I think that Peter is very valid to be upset at Walter for this. You know, I think it's an incredibly, I mean, your feelings are always valid, right? It doesn't matter how you feel. I think it's always valid to feel that way. It's then what you do with how you feel that can not be as valid. But I think it's totally fair that Peter feels conflicted and hurt and upset and angry and a lot of things, because he is a person stuck outside of time. Like, he exists, not outside of time, but outside of where he should be, you know? Like, he is a person from World B that grew up most of his life in World A, and now this is his world, but it wasn't always his world. But he can also never really return to his world because he's so entrenched now in World A. Like, all of his connections, all of his most significant memories, all of the things that shaped him and made him into who he is now exist in World A, even though as a child, much of what shaped him and made him who he was existed in World B. But I think that, like, he's like I said, he's just too entrenched in World A now to go back to World B. But then how could you not forever feel out of place because you don't actually belong here? And then he's also fighting for World A, like, this is our world. But it's not, you know, he has another world that exists that he actually comes from. And I think that that would be a very difficult thing to try to reconcile and to come to terms with in your mind, you know? Like, I think that figuring out who the hell you are as a person as you get older is hard enough as it is, you know? It's you know, it's so hard to, you know, unwrap all of the societal expectations, gendered expectations, your parental expectations, familial expectations, all of, you know, who you masked as for a lot of your life. As you get older, you get the chance to sort of deconstruct all those things and figure out who the hell you are underneath who the world and your family and society told you that you should be. You know what I mean? And so you already have to deal with all of that and figure out who the hell you are and who you want to be and create that person. And then you find out, like, it's not even, I don't know. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but just imagine all the shit that we have to unpack to figure out who the hell we are, and who we want to be. And then you have another layer added on top of that because you're from a whole nother world. You know, it would be very hard. And not even to mention the fact that Walter is your dad. He is your dad because he raised you, right? And your family is the people who love you no matter what, right? It's not always who you're blood related to, even though, I don't know, is he blood related to this Walter? I don't know if the blood types are different in other worlds, but it's not who you're related to, right? It can be, and if you're blessed and lucky, that can be your family, but it's not always. And the family that you find and create for yourself is just as important as the family that you're born into, and sometimes a lot more important and significant in your life. But I think that it's understandable that he would feel like this wasn't his family, because he has an actual dad out there and an actual mom and cousins and whatever, right? And people that he knew. And it's just like, I think it's too crazy of an idea to really contemplate what Peter could possibly be going through, because if you found out that your parents are a different version of your parents from another world, and your actual parents who you knew and loved as a child are somewhere grieving you because they think that you're dead, like, that would be, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I can fully understand Peter being incredibly upset by this news and needing a long time to decompress and understand it. Now, as an audience member, I don't want him to take a long time to decompress and understand it, because I want him back with us, and I want him interacting with Olivia, and I want him interacting with Walter, and I want this ragtag little found family that I love so much to be together again, you know? But as a human, I can understand that it would take a long time. Of course, for Walter, like, this is his worst fears coming to light, right? He doesn't, this is where I'm going to get emotional. He doesn't want to lose Peter again, right? He can't lose Peter again. He said that multiple times. And this is a version of losing him, you know? Like, he mourned the loss of his son, who he loved so much. And then he developed a bond with another version of his son, who isn't quite his son, but who I think he grew to love as much as he did the original Peter that was his son, you know? And especially now, in the years that they've spent since St. Clair's, he's grown to actually know his son and love him and appreciate him for who he is. And he called him dad in this episode. He called him dad, which I've been waiting for, and I think Walter's been waiting for the whole fucking series. And the writers really were like, fuck you, because they knew that we'd been waiting for that. They knew that we wanted that so badly. And they were like, we're gonna hurt you a lot right now by having this beautiful moment that you've wanted, and then we're gonna take it away from you, and we're gonna really, really take it away from you. But yeah, he called him dad. That's so significant, you guys. Like, Walter has probably been waiting so long to hear Peter call him dad again. Sorry, I need a second. I'm fine. I'm not fine. But I'm very upset for Walter because I know that this is really emotionally devastating to him. And I just want their relationship to be rebuilt. Ultimately, I think it's going to be a good thing. I really fucking hope it's going to be a good thing ultimately, because when, and I have to believe it's when, Peter comes back and they start to rebuild again, it's going to be coming from a place of total honesty and total transparency. And I think that that's the only way forward for them. And so I'm just going to hold on to that hope that that they're going to build back to maybe not exactly what they were, but something that's just as significant and important of a relationship for them to have. And yeah, that's what I'm going to believe. That's what I'm going to believe. I also want to talk about Peter's mom and the revelation of this episode for a bit. And honestly, probably the people who say things in the comments aren't watching this far, so this might be a pointless little tangent. But I was unfortunately spoiled in the comments about what happened to his mom. The comment that spoiled it said that they had already said that in the show or implied it, but I don't think that they had. Like, I think that this episode is the reveal of the truth of what happened to Peter's mom. Unless I just missed it and I'm wrong and I wasn't spoiled. But luckily I watched these a few episodes ahead, so usually the comments that people leave that are a little bit spoilery, I have already seen, so it doesn't bother me. But I have had to take kind of a step back from reading the comments a lot of times. Yeah, I would just ask you to please refrain from, and I know that people get excited a lot of times, and a lot of the comments aren't intended to be spoilers and things like that, but it does take away from my reaction when they reveal something and I already read that in I don't know how to say it, but anyway, yeah, sorry, that was just a little tangent, but it's not great when you're watching it and you get spoiled. But moving on to Peter's mother and the truth of how she died, I think that it makes a lot of sense. I talked about it a little bit when I was talking about Peter, but I do think it makes sense, and unfortunately it's really sad that she felt so trapped by the guilt of what her and Walter had done that she didn't see another way out. I think that when people make that choice, it's always a tragedy. It's always sad. It's never the right choice, I don't think. But I also understand that it comes from a place of deep devastation, and I don't know, you guys. I think it's really sad, essentially, right? That his mother presumably felt so overtaken by her and Walter's choice that she couldn't live with herself anymore, having made the choice that they made, and the repercussions that it had presumably on his family in World B. And so she removed herself from the equation, right? I think that that's really sad because she missed so much. I don't know the right way to talk about it. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to misspeak or say anything bad. I'm not judging anybody who has made that choice. I'm not trying to shame anybody. I think that it's honestly a very, very, very sad thing that anybody can get to that point. And I think that it's a failure on a lot of levels, that it's not as easy to recognize when people do reach that point and to help them back from the brink, you know? I think that it's, yeah. I don't know, you guys. I feel like I've fumbled all of that, but I think it's really, I just think it's a tragedy, honestly, at the end of the day. But the last thing that I really want to say about this episode is the very end, somebody came across, right? So they didn't even freaking stop it, right? And whoever it was, Sebastian Roche's character referred to as the secretary, I think. And I'm really curious as to who the secretary is. Is it Leonard Nimoy? Is it other Walter? Is it Nina Sharp? Is it a new character that we have not met yet? Like, who the hell is this secretary? And why are they called the secretary? You know, inquiring minds need to know when the show reveals it. I'm just saying. Yeah, anyway, I think that that's all that I really have to say about this episode. I know I have rambled at you guys for a very long time, so you're probably like, it's about freaking time you shut the hell up. Anyway, as always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. Please no spoilers, as I have already said. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode, as well as every episode thus far of Fringe. Whew. All right. I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for more Fringe, where hopefully I'm not emotionally destroyed by the fallout of this, but we're just gonna have to see. Until then, bye guys.